Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So after experiencing what I thought was the most difficult year of my life in 2019, 2020 had to top things off with a global pandemic. It's been an emotional roller coaster, as I'm sure it has been for the rest of you guys as well. Personally, it's been a mental war just trying to fight off fears and worries caused by the pandemic. My anxiety peaked during the course of this year, not only by life not panning out as I'd anticipated, but also dealing with the effects of the pandemic, such as losing a loved one, multiple others displaying symptoms, and some testing positive. But in the midst of it all, 2020 has also been very fruitful as it's led me down a path of self-discovery and self-development, providing an opportunity to work on myself, my goals, and my dreams. I have decided to stop waiting to reach certain milestones or to be at a specific point in my life in order to feel happy. Because when you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. I'm now creating my own happiness along the journey by following my intuition and honing in on my passions and strengths to give myself the life that I know I deserve. Here are some habits I've implemented into my life which have helped me to get my life together, enabling me to be my best self as I choose to start being more proactive in my daily pursuit of happiness. Be intentional with the content you consume. Ironically enough, even with such an overwhelming amount of content available to us, it's easy to find ourselves in a loop of consuming content just to fill time. We don't stop to ask ourselves, is this adding value to my life? How will this contribute to the betterment of my life? Or even questioning the kind of emotions a piece of content evokes within us. Does it leave you feeling inspired, or does it leave you feeling drained? We mindlessly scroll through social media, not realizing that we're misusing a valuable and finite asset, time. The best investment we can make is towards ourselves. So invest in yourself by setting time aside to do things that will develop and elevate you. And I've personally been investing in myself by consuming more purposeful content that evokes positive emotions and inspires me to chase after my dreams. We're fortunate enough to live in an era where we have access to resources, where the people we admire share their stories, their journeys, and some of their daily habits or ways of thinking that have led them to where they are today. So I've gotten into the habit of listening to podcasts and reading books. There's no better place to draw wisdom and inspiration other than from people who have done the things that you aspire to do in the future. There's always something to learn from people we look up to. And listening to some of the people that I admire has inspired me so much that it has fast-tracked a dream of mine that I didn't think would happen quite so soon. That is to have my own podcast to help people develop and improve themselves and their lives. So be selfish with your time and give back to yourself by enriching your mind and nurturing your soul. Feed your soul with positivity and enrich yourself by learning and developing your skills and knowledge. And start off by being more intentional with the type of content you consume. Make time for what's essential. Earlier on this year, I started watching K-dramas and they are so binge-worthy. But in the attempt to start getting my life together, I had to remind myself of my goals. Of course, some of them were impossible to work on because of the pandemic, but some were still doable. I've been really productive lately, and one of the things I can attribute to my productivity is my new habit of writing out a to-do list and reading out my goals every single morning. When you can visualize those goals coming to fruition, living your dream life, and feeling those emotions, you're definitely not going to spend all day binging a Korean drama on Netflix. Having a to-do list helps me prioritize and to actively work on my goals. Writing it out the night before means that I wake up with a plan every day, and the tasks I have planned for the day are embedded in my subconscious mind before I even get out of bed. Reading out my goals every morning motivates me to constantly work on my goals and keeps me mindful of what I'm working towards. Some of our goals aren't as difficult to achieve as we may think. It just takes small, consistent steps to get there and consistently reminding ourselves of the destination, because out of sight, out of mind. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Mel's 5-second rule is when you actively choose to take action after 5 seconds of getting an idea to do something. So when you think to yourself, I should probably get out of bed, I should probably work out, or I should probably get started with that business idea, you only have 5 seconds to take action before your brain starts to talk you out of it. The idea here is to train ourselves to stop waiting to feel like doing something, because we never will. You'll never feel good or ready to do something that scares you, that frustrates you, or challenges you. We are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. When something is scary or uncomfortable, our brains can potentially sabotage us by trying to protect us from our fears. And it's up to us to learn to parent ourselves into doing those scary and uncomfortable things in order to achieve our goals. The 5-second rule is a great way to trick yourself into doing exactly that, because the process of counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in that micro moment interrupts the self-doubt or your habit of procrastination that's trying to creep in. And when you get to 1, that immediately prompts you to take action. The 5-second rule has really enhanced my productivity, and it's helped me to be proactive with getting my life in order and working on my goals. When I get an idea, no matter how much the work behind it scares me or frustrates me, I take small steps such as opening a Word document within those 5 seconds, and once it's open, it's a lot harder to not get started with that task. I always end up doing a lot more than I expected to just by taking those small steps. But it's not a magic trick. It's a decision you have to be willing to make and a change you have to be willing to embrace, because you are only one decision away from a completely different life, a completely different relationship, or even a completely different career. And hesitation is also a decision. And the cost of hesitation is the life you could have lived. Exercise and have a healthy diet. It's easy to neglect and overlook our physical health, especially in our youth where there aren't any evident health issues. We eat and drink what we want, and it's only later on in life that the repercussions begin to reveal themselves to us. I cannot tell you the number of times my dad has warned me about the things I eat and my lack of exercise. So during this quarantine, I took it upon myself to make a change, and the rewards have been remarkable. At first, I thought it would be a 1-month kind of thing, but I've enjoyed the benefits so much, it's slowly becoming a lifestyle. At the beginning of the year, living alone caused me to feel anxious and sad. But ever since I started my new workout regime and my healthy diet, I'm a lot more chipper and positive in spite of the life problems that, under normal circumstances, would weigh me down. I've also been way more productive, creative, and energized. My mind has been on overdrive, and I don't feel as sluggish as I sometimes would. I'm physically stronger, and my skin couldn't love me more for this new change. The texture of my skin feels healthier, and it just looks way more radiant than it ever has. I've always been a disciplined person. However, implementing this new habit into my life has enhanced my discipline even further, which has infiltrated into other aspects of my life as well, helping me carry out and complete tasks even in times when I don't feel so motivated to do them. Practice inner stillness. Every morning before I get ready for the day, I try to set aside time for inner stillness, to listen to my thoughts, and most importantly, to reconnect with God. Sometimes we cry out to God in the busyness of life, and we fail to see or hear Him reaching out to us to try and speak to us. Oprah says that life speaks to us in whispers, and for me, it's in times of stillness that God's voice was clearest in my life. When we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, we lose sight of the important things. Stillness, on the other hand, reminds us to appreciate what truly matters. So in the mornings, I like to set the tone for my day by reading the Bible and some biblical positive affirmations, which I speak over my life every morning. This reminds me of God's faithfulness as well as His plans and desires for my life. I also like to practice daily gratitude, as this provides a shift in perspective. It helps put to rest some of my worries and unfulfilled expectations, as I actively choose to focus on the things that I do have. Celebrate small and all victories. We often cheer other people on and celebrate their wins with them, but forget to celebrate our own. I've noticed that whenever I achieve a goal or accomplish something that makes me really proud, I'm very quick to shift my focus to the next goal or the next thing to top that. But whenever I make a mistake or fail at something, it lingers in my mind for much longer than it should. So I've incorporated this mental habit into my daily life to remind myself of how far I've come and to build my self-confidence for times when I do doubt myself or my capabilities. Sometimes we don't recognize our strengths or our potential until we take a step back and look in on all of our achievements, big and small. No one can ever fully understand the depths of what you've been through or had to go through to get to where you are today. So no one can ever celebrate you as much as you deserve more than you. So celebrating your victories is a great way of leading a positive life, building your self-esteem by reminding yourself how capable you are. You also learn to be your biggest supporter, and it serves as a great motivator for the things you want to achieve in the future. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some habits you've been implementing into your daily routine to get your life together after quarantine? Let me know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next upload. But until then, don't forget to never give up on the life you know you deserve. Bye.